attendees who are present. And we're just looking at the Home tab. We're looking at the home screen of a Transaction Desk account. Transaction Desk, which includes Instinet Forms. Transaction Desk is the umbrella product, if you will. So it's Transaction Desk, and then there's features that are available. Instinet Forms is our forms library to type up online forms and so forth. DocBox is that document manager. I'm in that second row of links in the top third of the page, just talking about Transaction Desk and these features. Transaction Desk is the umbrella. Instinet Forms, forms library. DocBox for unlimited document storage. AuthentiSign for digital signatures. All of these technologies, tasks, and calendar to manage workflow through the sale process. Manage that real estate sale process online using Transaction Desk. These are the services that are available. The one we're focusing on today is DocBox. But all of these features, forms and documents and digital signatures, they come together, the power of one platform in a transaction. Again, working in that row of links at the top, third of the page, shading to the right side now, transactions. Clicking there, we're going to take a look at a transaction. We're going to look at how DocBox interacts at the transaction level. Then we'll look at how it interacts at the solo level, if you will. But we really want to encourage you to use transaction files to really move that manila folder filled with paper pages, move that file online, create transaction files filled with digital forms, store digital documents, and so forth. I'm going to click on the transaction name there, Samuel Solar, listing prospect, clicking on the transaction name. And most of you have hopefully created a transaction before. Maybe you have a Forms-only account or a Forms plus AuthentiSign account, and you'd like to potentially add DocBox. When you add these additional services, you simply add an additional feature to your transaction files. If you've never seen a transaction file before, then this is your first taste of a transaction file. Looking at the left-hand column of the screen, refer to this as the dashboard. We're looking at the overview, that top red bullet point, the overview. That's the view we're looking at right now. We can see the forms that we've added, the documents that we've uploaded, documents of our transaction. And just real quickly, well, what's the difference between a form and a document? Well, a form is online and fillable. It's found in the forms library for the state forms, for association forms, possibly even custom broker forms if your broker's participated, your office has participated. So they are forms. They are online and fillable and delivered outbound to clients and cooperating agents. Documents are what you're receiving back. You receive documents back into your transaction file, the signed, ratified contracts, the home inspections, the surveys, the settlement statements, all of that documentation that you're receiving throughout the sale process, the loan payoff amount, the buyer's pre-qualification letter. Put them back online. And DocBox offers you a number of different ways to do that, very deliberate ways to move your documents back online, back into the transaction files. So let's do that. Let's look at the documents we have and the options. So from that dashboard, those bullet points on the left, I'm going to click on Documents. Clicking on Documents will take me to basically the DocBox of this transaction file. We have a fax back cover sheet. There are 4 distinct faxing services offered with DocBox. Outbound faxing. There are no requirements to be within 1,000 miles of a fax machine to send the outbound fax. Internet faxing, you're instructing DocBox to complete the action. You're instructing DocBox to fax that document to an intended recipient. Outbound. Inbound faxing and the fax back cover sheet. So maybe we should click there to talk about that. Fax back cover sheet. Because barcode technology, it's really repurposing your existing fax machine as a scanner. Because using these cover sheets, that is the outcome, if you will. When you use these cover sheets and your existing fax machine, use these as the cover sheets. Dial the toll-free number. And whether it's yourself, whether it's your cooperating agent, whether it's your client, they use this cover sheet as the cover sheet. They dial the toll-free number. Our receiving faxes read the barcode. Our receiving faxes read the barcode and convert that paper fax to a PDF document, PDF conversion. That PDF is delivered directly to your online transaction file. It is then emailed notification with a PDF copy of that received fax. So you get a copy saved online to your file, a copy delivered to your email account. Fax back cover sheets. Repurpose that existing fax machine. Pardon my mouse just for a moment. Repurpose that existing fax machine. Fax back cover sheets. Well, maybe some of you are rolling your eyes and saying, well, isn't faxing really dead? I don't even have a fax. If I do, it's the fourth feature of my all-in-one printer copy scan fax. And you don't usually use it as a printer either, so it's a scanner. Continue to do so. Continue to scan the file. Certainly we don't want to dissuade you from that because there's a number of ways that you can take that local file, right? You've scanned it to your local computer, your laptop or your desktop computer, and you can upload that document into your transaction file using DocBox. And there's a link here right in the center of the screen. But as much as that one, I want to start referencing this phrase and these drop-down menus because this really is a very integral part of Transaction Desk. The I would like to, that phrase, and that associated drop-down menu of choices. This is where you're going to find the features and functions within your Transaction Desk account. Whether you're using the incident forms, the DocBox, the AuthentiSign, you're always going to see that phrase, I would like to. It is always going to be in association with this little upside-down triangle indicating these list of values, these menu choices to upload documents or upload via email, to add documents from your other folders and transaction files, to email or fax outbound, to package multiple documents together, to delete or merge documents together. Packaging and merging is a subtle difference. If you have a question about it, let me know. Otherwise, we're not going to spend too much time on it. Just know that merging creates one final document. Packaging does not. The edit markup. So you can add those highlights and redactions and bullseyes and the features like that to an existing digital PDF document. Options within upload revisions of documents if you have printed, marked up, and rescanned. Choices within that document section of the transaction file, the DocBox associated with this file. So the one we want to do here quickly is upload a document. So either choose it from the drop-down or just click on the link here on the center of the page. That's going to give us an opportunity to access those documents we have stored locally just by clicking on the plus sign. It's going to show me a folder, whatever the folder I was in last time, just my desktop, which is fine, and I will select multiple documents because I have that option. I'm going to choose one of these and a PDF. We'll choose this one. Pressing and holding the control key. Oh, I guess I cannot. I can only select one at a time. Sorry about that. Even I got a little tossed. But I can add more. So I added one, I click plus again, and I can add the next. Double clicking it, it's the same as clicking the open sign. Upload those documents. Add selected documents to your transaction. Now, if there is one, the larger the document that you have, the longer it can take to upload. So just keep that in mind. If you have a lot or a number of documents that you would like to upload and you don't want to wait around for them to complete that uploading process, you can upload via email. This is actually going to launch a unique email message. So clicking here It is, in my computer, it's actually going to prompt me to log into email. You can designate these accounts to be the default account when you generate, when you click on that link. When you click on the link, it prompts to open that email provider. So in terms of this emailing in documents, it was also an integration with Microsoft Outlook. So you can set that Outlook function. If you work with Gmail or Yahoo Mail, you can set them as default email providers as well. Potentially Hotmail. I just have not tested that personally. So to email in, though, you need an email account and an outbound email file upload at transactiondesk.com. That is always the same. That is always what the to address will be, file upload. The subject is unique to the transaction file. It's kind of like the alphanumeric equivalent of that fax back cover sheet. So this is the one that's going to change for each transaction. So if I want to email those in, I'm just going to attach a file. Again, it's going to show me the documents that I have. In this case, I can, I believe, select more than one at a time because I'm using my email account rather than the actual DocBox. Let's choose one more and we'll open those up. Now we click on open. Now we've added 3 attachments to this email message. I'm going to deliver this to my DocBox account. Boom, boom, boom. Just click send. It's been sent. Now it may take a little bit for that, just depending on file size and internet traffic and so forth, but I don't have to wait to go on to do the next. Those will be delivered via that email message. DocBox within the transaction file. The other features of the file, all available within those red bullet points, specifically focusing on DocBox. So with that said, let's take a look at that outbound fax. And then we'll take a look at the markup opportunity, and then we're going to leave transactions. So just to make sure we show the feature, select the document that you need to fax. I would like to drop-down menu. Fax selected documents. Click on the go arrow. I call it the go arrow because when you hover your mouse on it, it says go, and it's just going to go to this preparation page to select our recipient. This little business card icon, if there is a recipient that we have, if we've maintained a contact database with our DocBox or transaction desk account, we can select from our contacts, or we can simply type in their names. Fred, and we'll go with Freeman. I uploaded one of their documents, so and then their fax number, and it will jump it'll kind of auto tab to the next field for you. So type in that fax. Notice every time you send an outbound fax, you're going to be prompted to include a cover sheet. Are we expecting our recipient to sign or take some action with this document we're sending them? Are they going to be sending it back to us? If the answer to that is yes, then yes, send that cover sheet so they can use it to fax back directly to your transaction file. Receive a copy to your account, receive a copy to your email. Unless you don't want a copy to your email, then you can set those features. You just uncheck the box. No, I don't want a copy in my email. You know what? I don't even want an email notification. I think you do, but you decide if you want another copy of the document or not. If it doesn't hurt, leave them checked. If you don't want to send it at all, don't send it at all. By default, it's going to select those features. Deselect them if you choose to, but otherwise send that fax. DocBox, bottom right corner, right-hand side, sending fax. DocBox sends the fax. DocBox notifies you when the fax has been successfully sent. So while we were sending the fax, our email document showed up, which is good because I want to open this document and mark it up a little bit. So from the I would like to menu, edit, mark up the selected document. This will allow me to do little redactions. It'll allow me to add highlights or other required changes or markups to this online PDF. I don't want to print something out just to add a couple features over a couple items. To use the software for this, just runs a little Java applet. So just to run that little software program. It's kind of browser-based. It's not really going to install anything on your computer, but it is a browser-based program that's just going to launch and run within this Internet Explorer browser to allow us to utilize these features here at the top: line draw for strike over, pencil tool to hand draw some things if we need to. The circle tool is very nice to draw those circles if you're thinking about bullseyes for where you would require signatures, or initials. You could use the circle and the line draw. We do have a text tool to add some content in that way. So the highlight will actually highlight features if you want to use that. So what do we want to do? What I think you'll use the most maybe is the redactions. Let's use a line draw, selecting that feature, top third, left-hand side, line draw. As I come onto the page, see how it's now a crosshair. My mouse changes from an arrow to a crosshair. So I want to plot. What do I want to strike over? Well, let's just, for funds here, I just click the mouse one time. Watch, my mouse changed again. Now it is an arrow, and I can drag it wherever I need to cross over. And I click the left mouse button, click it one more time, and that terminates. My mouse cursor has turned back into the crosshair, and the strike over is complete. Now if I hit the exit or escape, if I hit escape on my keyboard, the escape key of my keyboard, watch my cursor again, changes. Now I'm in the neutral position. I'm just on the page. I can move around without making any marks or items. So what do I want to do next? Let's insert some text. So I'm going to click on the text tool, and watch in the center there. It's a red block right now. That's the color palette. As I change the tool, in this case insert text, turn blue. It's a blue color palette. If I want to change that, I can just double click to change the color. And it'll show me a full range of color palette if I wanted to make it something else. But otherwise, I'm going to stick with blue, have the insert tool selected, watch the mouse as I come onto the page, change from the arrow, not the mouse, the cursor. The cursor changes to that crosshair. And I just left click with the left mouse button one time, and it's going to plot this text box so that I can type. And I can type numbers, I can type letters, I can type special characters. We can add this text to this online PDF. You can make it bigger, make it smaller. Maybe in this case I will make it a little smaller. I can drag it by clicking and holding. So right now I'm holding down the left mouse button as I'm moving it around. I can put that into an appropriate position. Click away. So I'm just going to left mouse button off of it, and now it's no longer fillable. I've dropped it in. My cursor is in the neutral position by clicking on the escape key. Now with these and most of the redactions, you can also use the right mouse button. Once I've placed it, if I don't like where it is, if I want to move it around, I can use the right mouse button. There are two buttons on your mouse, left and a right. This is the time we actually get to use the one on the right. By clicking that markup with the right mouse, it reactivates it so that I can delete it. I would not suggest changing the color here. It's just, from experience, it is not always the best choice. Change the font color on the palette in the center top third of the screen. But again, decrease, increase, click away. One I would like to show you is you can actually, this line, I know it's small, but if you get right on it and right click, You see you can move it around a little bit. You can even make it a little thicker. I use the right mouse click so I can make that a little bit larger. You can remove it, click away, nice thick red line. But that's the right mouse click. When I hover onto the markup and use the right mouse button, it gives it that additional editing feature. Strike over, redact. So maybe at this point you did need the signature, so you could use that circle tool by clicking there. Again, see its color palette's green. Click one time, place it, size it, escape. You want to right click on it here. I want to drop it down just a smidge. Click and hold it to move it. Click away to escape from it. Line draw. Selecting that, so I'm going to make a little bullseye here. Click once, release and drag. Click again to terminate. New position. Click once. Click once to terminate. Add your markups. Highlights will highlight the feature that you drag over. So forth. All right, you talked me into it. Click once, drag, click to terminate. Escape to the neutral position. Escape on your keyboard. Right click to readdress, resize, delete. Click away. Saving and exiting. Top right corner, top third, exiting. All right, I can't go without talking about notes. Notes for two reasons. One, you can plot the note to the PDF. It will travel with the PDF. If your recipient prints it to paper, it will not travel. It will not print. The PDF will retain it. The printed page will not. The note is purely for the PDF. Saving and exiting. Making saves to that marked up document. That is now the primary document in my returning to Document Manager in my transaction file. It's probably a nice reason to segue from here to the DocBox as a standalone feature. DocBox within transaction files. We looked at a lot of these features. I would like to. Email selected, fax selected, so forth. One nice thing about emailing is that you can also email as a link. All right, you talked me into it again. Email selected documents. Clicking on go. I guess I need to select one before I get ANSI to send it. So let's choose that marked up document. Selecting it. Checkbox, email selected, go. What's the difference, right? Well, when I send it as an attachment, it's a PDF. It's a, no offense to PDFs, but it's just a dumb PDF. You send it outbound, you assume that they received it and opened it. If you send it as a link, you are actually delivering a link to your online document. So when that recipient clicks the link, you are notified. You know they've opened it. Time and date stamped when it happened. So it's a nice feedback loop to get some history. Again, selecting from the contacts this time, clicking, and I didn't before because I typically in the demos I don't add a fax number. So we're sending this to Jack, but I always add an email address. Jack, email recipient, carbon copy, blind copy, message, just a sending example. So fax back cover sheet, nah, it's not for, I'm not expecting anything back, just sending him this. Well, actually I am, because I put that feature on there for him to, I made the changes, I'm faxing them over, or emailing them over, he'll print it, he'll sign it and fax it back. Right? Glad I thought of that. Sending that email. But I'm sending the outbound email with the attached link. Well, the link is embedded. It's not really attached. It's, they open the email message, they click on the link, which opens the document. Jack would then print out the document along with the cover sheet, initial the changes we made, fax back that updated or revised signed copy. I get a copy back to my file. I receive a copy to my email message. Documents within a transaction file. Other webinars discuss all of the other services. So moving forward, time is of the essence. We're going to leave the transaction. Let's just go through the overview kind of as we back out of the file, go back to the overview. The documents that are now available, forms, tasks, these are all features of the online transaction desk transaction file. Authenticine's in there too, all integrated Power of One platform. Okay, going to DocBox now, because as much as it's integrated with all these other things, it can also basically be used as a standalone service as well, a full document management service. Inbox documents, I'm going to expand that. I'm in the top, well, middle third actually. Inbox documents, I can click once on the plus or twice on the folder name. Just an inbox. Here's all the transactions that I have created in this account. Well, the way the DocBox also works is that you can create personal folders. And when they are, say, my folders, they are the most personal, because if you're in an office and you're sharing your transaction files or your sponsoring broker has access to your transaction files and the documents in your transaction files, they do not have access to these folders. These are your personal DocBox folders for whatever content that you would like to store. In my example, I've got a couple closed folders and files within those folders. I would like to, there's that phrase again, I would like to. Copy selected documents, create a cover sheet, create an Instanet fax cover sheet. Now this is a fax to email. It's the same cover sheet though, so I don't know if I'm going to go through it. If you're really interested in the fax to email technology, let me know, chat window, and we'll work it into the session. But otherwise, just know that you can create a cover sheet, identify an email recipient, print that to paper, and use it to fax paper documents to a recipient's email address. Same toll-free number, same barcode technology. The Instanet fax cover sheet, when the receiving faxes convert the paper to PDF, it just emails them outbound to the recipient identified on the cover sheet. You create it, you identify the email recipient, you fax to email. It does require a print cycle to print that cover sheet. I've heard often that agents create one just for their own email address, and every time they get a paper document, they leave that Instanet fax cover sheet by their setting by their fax machine and just fax it to their email. One cover sheet printed out one time, reused over and over and over again, just to send that paper as a PDF to your email account. Then deliver it appropriately from there. Easy peasy. Create new folders, and these would be under that My Folder section. So you can create new folders, you can delete documents or folders, email or fax them outbound, merge or package. So you can see a lot of these are similar to the features within the transaction file. So a lot of overlapping features. One feature that is here that is not in a transaction file, I'm glad I have this JPEG image. I'm going to select this image, this document. And image files, JPEG, bitmap, TIFF, PDFs, Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, all of these documents are supported by DocBox, all those different format types, so you have those accessibility. When the document that you upload is not a PDF, if you would like it to be a PDF, you can convert it or create a PDF copy. So this is another option, but just before we do anything here, just notice that when I selected the document, the right-hand side of the screen changed. It's got some notes and some descriptions, but also the phrase that I would like to menu. What would I like to do with this particular document? Would I like to rename it? Would I like to view it? Would I like to convert it to PDF? These options are all here within this I would like to on the middle third right-hand side of the screen. So yeah, I'd like to convert it to PDF, and I'd like to click on the Go arrow. And it really creates a PDF copy. So I'll have both a PDF and a non-PDF. I'll have the original JPEG and the PDF named .jpg. And if I don't like that, I can select it. And here's what I like to do. I'm a right clicker, so I'll just click on the right mouse button and yield this menu. So every time, well not every time, but when I'm on that document, select it, right mouse click it to receive this right mouse menu. Because I can do a lot of the same things as that I would like to menu on the right. I can view it, I can mark it up, I can send it outbound, I can copy it, delete it, or even rename it. So I just don't like that .jpg there. So we rename it, hit enter on my keyboard to save that change. Probably could even take a new off of it if I was thinking it through. Features within the DocBox standalone. Probably the biggest difference is the opportunity to create these folders, my folders, to maintain a set of personal documents. Selecting that PDF, I just want to show how you can also click and hold. So I'm now holding the left mouse button. I can actually drag that document down into an appropriate different folder. So the inbox is just kind of that ubiquitous inbox, like your email inbox. Things that aren't otherwise identified will get delivered to the inbox. And then you can easily move things to other folders within. One thing I wanted to show before we headed out of here is we're going to go to the Settings tab now and talk about the mobile and the print driver and show those. So but before we did, I want to show that when we created, let's see, were we working with Jack? No, we were working with Sam. All those documents that we brought over. But the one that we marked up was that conceptual development plan. I'm going to select that one because here is where I can find those previous versions. So I'm in the DocBox transaction documents for Sam Solar. We worked on this document in the transaction file. We marked it up. I can find it here under my transaction Sam Solar folder in the DocBox document versions. Right hand side of the screen changed when I clicked on the document. I can see the version, I can see the previous version, the non-marked up, so I always have a copy of that previous revision. The non-marked up, the one I'm highlighted on, is the one we marked up. This link here is the one that is not. If it goes through another revision, we'll have other versions. So you always have copies of those previous ones. If you need to take a quick peek, we can do the document preview, and it'll launch it in that window. We are previewing this document, the one that's highlighted, our markups, our highlights, so forth. DocBox as a standalone service, same when you're working with a transaction file, except for that conversion process. That PDF conversion is unique to this DocBox setting. So my folders are your personal folders that are non-visible by anyone but you. Your transaction documents are visible by your sponsoring, managing, designated realtor, and sometimes whoever you allow access to. Those my folders are yours alone. So from here, I want to leave the DocBox. Let's just go back to the Home tab here just to recenter ourselves. About 7-8 minutes left. I'm going to go to the Settings tab now. Top third of the screen, right-hand side, Settings tab. Because there's two other DocBox features that we kind of have to dig for a little bit, but I think it's worth it. It's like finding treasure after you've dug for it. Settings tab, My Preferences. Top third of the page, left-hand corner, My Preferences, Continue. Because the bottom of this dashboard here on the left-hand side, those green arrows, if you will, waiting for everything to catch up here. Looks like I got a little screen lag, so slowing down just for a moment, then I think we're all caught up now. So Bottom third of the page, left-hand side of the screen, I show Print Driver settings and I show DocBox to Go settings. Let's peek at DocBox to Go for a moment first. This is the our website that is optimized for mobile browsing. DocBox2Go.com. It literally is that. www.docbox2go.com. If you go to this website, use your first name, last name, and your unique DocBox password to log in through your smartphone or mobile device. Have access to all of your stored documents, completed forms, contacts, and transaction files. It's all there, accessible through your smartphones. Not just Blackberries, but iPhones, Treos, Androids, certainly. All of those smartphones that are available out there today. If you don't know your DocBox password, just click here to have it sent to you. It will be emailed to the account that you have on file, your email account that we have for you in your transaction desk account. And maybe we'll show you how to know what that email address is as well. But that's all you have to do is get that email, to get your password, and go take it to docbox2go.com to log in. It's just a straight login page, first name, last name, and that unique DocBox password. If you know the email account on your DocBox account, just have it retrieved to that email. I'll show you where you can check what that email is in just 90 more seconds. Because we'll talk about the Print Driver. The Print Driver by DocBox Internet Solutions will allow you to virtually print any document to upload, email, or fax. There is an installation process, and because of that, Mac users are not available for Mac users at this time. Mac just does not allow the flexibility of easy third-party installations. So in this case, the DocBox Print Driver is for PC users. You can install. Look at that right middle of the page, right-hand side. Click here to download the DocBox Print Driver. It'll just walk you through the steps to install the Print Driver on your computer or computers, because you could certainly put it on your desktop at home, your laptop, your office workstation. You could install this Print Driver across those different PCs. Through that process, you will be asked to provide this user key, and you can copy it. So I'm just highlighting, clicking and holding my mouse down to highlight that, and right-click to copy. So you don't have to feel like you need to memorize it or even write it down. Just create a quick copy of that key. You will be prompted for it as you go through that installation process. You will also be prompted for that DocBox password. So we'll show where you can get that sent to you to easily access. But what does it do? So sometimes it's easier, and I can re-raise this audio message and go to this file. Any document, so however you've opened a PDF, if you're reviewing an email attachment delivered to you by a cooperating agent, that's what this is. This is a counteroffer that was emailed to me by the cooperating agent. I go to File, Print. I've reviewed it, and now I want to take some actions with it. And you can see that's opened up my print menu where I have my all-in-one scan, copy, fax. I have my LaserJet, black LaserJet inkjet printer, and those other color printers and other features like that. But you'll also have a DocBox printer by Internet Solutions. This will be installed within the print menu of your computer. That's why Mac doesn't allow it. My PC does. DocBox printer by Internet Solutions installed, and that's what I want to choose. And I click on Print. It's going to virtually print. It is now going to prompt me for my password. So there is the requirement here to be online. You are going to be required to have internet access in order to I don't think we're sending any email here. No, there it is. You're going to be prompted. Username, I have a few installed on here. This is the one I want to use. So it prompts you. See, it retains that user key. It retains that. It prompts you during the installation and retains that information. My password. This is that unique DocBox password. When the credentials have been authenticated, I'm logged in. I'm now logged into my DocBox account, online DocBox account. I can upload this to a particular transaction. I can fax it to a recipient. I can email it to somebody, or I can do all three. Possibly I just got a counter offer. So what I want to do, I want to upload that to my transaction file for Jack Jackson. And the document is counteroffer 123 Main. And I want to email it to my recipient as well. And the recipient is Jack, and he's at Gmail. Carbon copy, blind copy, please review. Sending an outbound email message. And call with questions. Do I need to include a cover sheet? Am I expecting him to print this out, initial it, and send it back to me? Include it. Send it out. So in essence, I've logged in. The DocBox Print Driver logged you in to your DocBox service so that you can upload, fax, print from any document, file, print menu. All right, about 90 more seconds here. I appreciate everyone's time, energy, and effort to participate in this webinar session. Top third of the screen from the dashboard of green bullets, I'm going to go to user information. This is where you will find the email account that we have on file for you so that you will know where those notifications are being sent. If you want to update it, by all means update it. But this is what we have for you at this time under the user information. Top third of the screen here. We are under the Settings tab. Let's just go back all the way now to Settings just to show where we found these features. So user information, leaving this look to go back to Settings. The Settings tab is where we found the My Preferences in the top left-hand side there, top third left-hand side. My Preferences, where we found the DocBox Print Driver, the DocBox To Go, the user settings. But with that said, I want to be very mindful of everybody's time. Thankful for the opportunity to present. I'm going to go back to the Home tab. I will re-raise this audio message. Scroll down to discuss a few items. First off, tungle.me/webinar Greg. If you have interest in follow-up webinars for yourself, your team, your office, we can tailor them to the time that you have available and the content that you would like to cover. They're interactive where we can actually talk to each other and discuss implementation strategies. They are free, so let us know how we can best assist. Twitter.com is always lively conversation. Webinar Greg is the handle. Webinars at Instinet Solutions. If you have questions, comments, general observations, did not have time or interest to type it into the chat, but want to follow up, please do. Webinars at Instinet Solutions. If you would like recorded content, youtube.com/Instinet Webinars. Full library of webinar content, recorded 1 to 3 minute how-do-wise, 5-minute tutorials, or 60-minute, 45 to 60-minute overviews. But with that said, thank you again for the opportunity to present, and until we webinar again, I hope you have a tremendous, tremendous day.